All right, hey there. My name is Vincent. This is a reading for Taurus. Now, Taurus, I am using the Tarot Yohualli Ehécatl by the artist that I know from Instagram. Username is MiCorazonMexica. I'll try to put it in the description for those of you that are interested. But it is a sort of reimagined version of the tarot, very centered on the imagery, symbology, philosophy, mythology of the indigenous Mexica people. Aztec is, one group that is typically associated with these people, but there are many, 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 many indigenous peoples of Mexico. Mexico. Anyway, it's a cool deck. We'll get to see some really beautiful artwork as we go through the reading today, I'm sure. But right off the bat, connecting with your energy is almost a little comical, because what I was seeing was a situation where someone, whether that's you or somebody else, I feel like it's more the energy that you're embodying, Taurus, but it's like you went out and you found this cup that was just like so cool. Like it was like the coolest cup for some reason. Something like, I don't know if there's something written on it, a joke that you really liked, or if there's like a picture on it, or if it's connected with a show or a movie that you really like. But it was like it immediately became your favorite cup and you just had to have it. It just had to be yours. And then, by matter of circumstance, whatever, it became your cup. Like you bought it, or it was given to you, or it came to you somehow. And then when you got it, it was like the first day you had it, you dropped it and it broke. Sort of this energy of like, oh, I finally get the thing that I want, and oh, it's immediately ruined and I can't have that thing anymore. And it's like, instead of wallowing in like despair, I sort of feel like you're just laughing about it, because that's just been the way things have been for you for a while. Like it's nothing new to you. It's just at this point it's like you feel like the universe is playing a practical joke on you, and instead of being really upset about it, which you were maybe initially when this sort of experience started happening for you, but now you're just kind of like at the point where it's like, why even get mad about it? It's such a waste of time and energy. Like, I'm just gonna laugh it off and move on and find something else. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a cup. It can be whatever that means, something that you're emotionally invested in, something that you cared about, that you were attracted to, that you found intriguing, maybe emotionally fulfilling. Okay, so right off the bat, we got two cards that came out. So let's see. The first one, we're looking at the Six of Flint. Okay, look at that beautiful card. Okay, the Six of Swords, if you can't kind of recognize the imagery. And then Ehécatl, which is the Great Flint, or the One of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the One of Flint. Interesting. A lot of air for you right here. In this card right here, what my attention's being drawn to is the sea state, these waves. And it could just be the boat kind of causing the waves. I forget what they call it. It's like the break, the wake, maybe. But something about it is like really connecting with this idea of changeability, like changeable circumstances. And I feel like this represents your perspective in the midst of all of this, Taurus. Like, you're just being carried along on this boat, and it's like sometimes the waves are really crazy and you're being rocked all over the place, and other times the water is really still and you're just kind of gliding along. But whatever the case may be, it's like you're along for a ride that you're not necessarily in control of, and you've kind of resigned yourself to that reality. Someone else or natural forces are calling the shots for you, and making it very clear that any attempt that you make to try to take control of the circumstances is going to be thwarted. It's going to be ruined. Like, the cup's going to be dropped. Like, if you try to go out and buy the cup by your own volition, it's not going to work out. I don't know how else to really convey that, but I think you know what I'm trying to say with that. And right here with the Great Flint, Ehécatl, I'm almost getting like trickster energy. Like, kind of going back to what I was saying with like you feeling like the universe is playing a practical joke on you. It's almost like it is. Like, this is the confirmation of that. Like, it's poking at you to see how you respond, to see what you're going to do about it. It's like, oh, you're going to go in this direction? You're going to drive this way? Okay, well, there's going to be a traffic accident on the way, and you're going to be stuck in traffic for 3 hours. Like, you're not getting around that. And then when you finally do, it's like whatever you were trying to get into that direction for, it's already passed. You were trying to get to an event, and you missed it because you were stuck in traffic for too long. Or it's like, oh, you're going to try this new recipe? How about we make sure that the ingredients that you just bought from the store, they're spoiled? What are you going to do about it? Like, oh, you're about to use your brand new stove? Power just went out. What are you going to do about it? You know, it's just one thing after another. And it's like, I'm hearing in my mind as I'm looking at this card, it's like, go on, pick up the sword and fight me. Like, do it. Like, I want to see how you do this. I want to see you stand up for yourself. I want to see you impose yourself upon reality rather than letting reality walk all over you. And that's kind of a common theme with the energy that I'm connecting with generally, and also in the last reading that I did. But I feel like for you, Taurus, like, it's becoming personal. Like, yeah, you've been able to kind of laugh about it and find humor in it and just kind of move on, but you're still riding the boat. You're not driving it. You're not in charge here. And it's kind of like, are you going to resign yourself to being in that position forever, or are you going to stand up and take the oar and steer the boat in the direction that you want to go in? Because it's like you're just going back and forth or going in this particular direction that maybe you don't necessarily want to be going in. And that's why these circumstances are coming in to kind of shake up your routine. Because, you know, Taurus is a creature of habit as a fixed earth sign. Like, y'all want things to be in their particular place, in their particular time. You want it to be reliable. You want it to be safe. You want it to be something that you're familiar with. Generally speaking, I mean, there's obviously exceptions, but it's like no matter what you do, the pot keeps getting stirred up, and you just can't find that stable point or that comfort from things because they just keep getting taken away from you, or there's just one obstacle after the other put between you and that thing. And it's like it's all trying to convey a message. And I think that's another thing that I'm getting from this card here is like the flint has an open mouth, and out of it is coming this fire, this purifying message. And it's like in the process of finally acknowledging what it is that the universe is trying to tell you by putting stoppers on all these different choices that you're making, that's where you're going to have the realization, and that's where you're going to be able to draw your power from, because you'll finally understand why this keeps happening. Because I feel it's not empty, mischievous, trickster energy. Like, the universe puts on the guise of the trickster, so to speak, for purpose. It has purpose behind it. It's teaching you something. It's trying to show you something that maybe you're not wanting to look at, or you're not wanting to acknowledge, or you're not quite understanding yet. And so this thing just keeps happening in order to attempt to take your attention to a space where things will make sense, to a space where you will finally be able to see what's happening and why it's happening. It's like somebody or something is trying to tell you something. And it could be your outward circumstances, like I've been saying with these different scenarios, or it could be like a spirit guide or somebody that's around you, a friend, family member. It's like something is being revisited, or something is going to have to be revisited in order to move forward. And I feel like I'm getting that from looking at the person that's rowing this boat. They're kind of looking back, and they're looking towards whatever's being communicated here. Whatever that means, right? Next card. Tlayaktliistli. My Nahuatl is it's not perfect, and there's these big words that are a little bit of a challenge, but la purificación. Spanish is not perfect either, which is sad because it was technically my first language. Now, I'm not completely familiar with the mythology and the symbols that are in this deck just yet. Like, I'm still very much getting acquainted with this deck. I've only had it for a few months. But if I remember correctly, this is a goddess. This might be her name. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember. But she is the eater of filth. And so you have this person who's wrapped. I think this is in like a funeral garb. Like, this is how a corpse is prepared for burial or transition into the next world. And then obviously you have all these offerings, and you have the marigolds, the traditional offering for the dead. But this figure is vomiting out this black sooty filth, and it's being swallowed up by this goddess here. And it's like this energy of purging something, of surrendering or giving up. I'm hearing giving up the ghost. I don't think we're talking about a literal death here, but there's something about maybe a symbolic exorcism of sorts. And I'm not saying that this is implying that all these things are happening to you, these negative obstacles or circumstances, that they're happening to you because of spirit possession or something like that. I don't think that's necessarily the message that's being conveyed here. I think it's more that these situations are coming up in order to produce something that's kind of been sitting in stagnant waters within you, something that's been going unacknowledged, misunderstood or repressed within yourself. And it's like by being poked and prodded at, it's like it's finally going to come up, and it's just going to erupt, sort of have volcanic potential, projectile vomiting in a sense, and finally getting it out there, saying what you're not saying, what you haven't been saying. You know, maybe you've been getting so frustrated with, just kind of throwing an example out there to kind of convey the principle that I'm trying to get behind, is like maybe you're in a work environment where you're not being heard, even though you have very helpful perspectives on why things may not be going very well in the workplace. And it's like you have ideas about how to improve things, and you've been trying to get people on the same page with you, but it's like nobody's listening, and you're getting really frustrated. And then finally, it's like one situation comes up, and you finally just come out with everything, and you're like, this is how I feel about this situation. This is what we need to do about it. And if you're not going to do something about it, then I'm out of here. I'm finally going to take charge, and I'm going to move in the direction that I want to go in, where I feel like I'm honored and valued. And that's it. You can deal with it, or you cannot deal with it. But whatever the case may be, I'm sticking up for myself. Like that's kind of what's happening here. And it's like this purging process is like purging any sense of maybe feeling like you're not good enough, or you're not capable, or you're not strong enough to stand up for yourself in this way, or you're not strong enough to maybe stand up for somebody else if this is somebody else that you're dealing with. But it's like it's purging all of that those sensibilities that keep you trapped and limited and bound. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at how it almost has like straitjacket energy. And I mean, if you're dead, your body's not moving anyway, but something about this, how the ropes are kind of tied around this figure, and you're sort of forced into a what looks to be rather uncomfortable physical position. It's like maybe you've been sitting in that, and it's just like it's forcing an acknowledgement. Like maybe you've been like, this is fine, I'm really like inside you're feeling all the discomfort, you're feeling the pain of being stuck in this position for so long, but you haven't been saying anything about it. And then finally this moment happens, and it's like, it's just, this is really uncomfortable, I'm done with this, you need to untie me right now, I'm leaving the situation, I'm cutting the ropes, and I'm getting out of here because this is not working. Or can we do something different? Like, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're leaving something behind. In a sense you are, but I think it's more that I just keep hearing giving up the ghost. You're giving up the truth. You're speaking the truth, come what may. And it's going to change your circumstances, of course, but you've been in such a changeable environment. Like, I don't think it doesn't faze you. That in itself is not the reason to not speak the truth. There's something else that needs to be processed or worked through. And I think there's going to be like a hot poker moment where kind of circumstances force this out of you, force you to speak up, force you to stand up for yourself, force you to change your circumstances or go in a different direction. And it's going to be all right. Like, you're capable. You've come a long way as a person, and I feel like you know how to navigate things. And especially after whatever this process of purification is, you know, you're finally going to have the strength to also stick up for yourself when in situations that you would have maybe a few years ago otherwise kept your mouth shut for. I don't feel like that's going to be the case anymore. Like, you're going to stand up and say something. And if people don't like it, they're not going to like it. And that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. Yohualli. This is the, I think it's equated with the Page of Hearts, the Page of Cups. I feel like he wants to be at the crown of the reading. It's very interesting. The impression that I'm getting, it's connecting these two cards for some reason. They're not really connected in terms of imagery or even color for that matter. But there's something about this water that he's pouring out of the pot here, and the waves down at the bottom. Like, it's like the sea is at my beck and call. Maybe this is you post-purification, or somebody else in your life who is aware of their faculties, is aware of their capabilities, and is aware of their ability to change their environment. They're aware that their emotions and their responses and their approaches to things have a direct impact on the sea state, on how the waves are looking on a particular day. Sometimes it's like, I'm getting very much a sense that this is the type of person that if they're in a room with you, if they're feeling some type of way, it's like the whole room feels like it. They are that, their inner landscape is that potent that they can so immediately impact the space around them. And I feel like this person is learning how to utilize that. Because that can be a weakness in some cases. Because it you don't want everyone around you to feel shitty when you feel shitty necessarily. You don't want things to feel uncomfortable unnecessarily just because you're feeling a specific emotion in a particular space and time. But it's like this person is learning to use it to their advantage to shape the space around them to, I don't want to say manipulate the people around them, but sort of impress a feeling upon them that influences their movement into a particular direction that may be in line with the desires of this figure. And it could be kind of what I'm getting, going back to the earlier part of this reading, is like, this could be you. Like, after standing up for yourself, you're like, I've been in this terrible situation this whole time, and now that I'm finally standing up for myself, I'm going to make the situation what I want to make it. And you're just going to have to deal with that. I'm going to create my own space. Because I'd never had the space given to me to do it. So why not do it for yourself? So maybe this means something about going off and being an entrepreneur in some sense, or even maybe separating from relationship, whether that's with someone you're romantically involved with, or family or friends. Just sort of moving out of a very muddled, sort of dirty, murky energy that's been very constrictive on you, and very I'm feeling like somebody's hands like around my throat. Like anytime that you've tried to speak up before in the past, it's like you're immediately like choked before the words can come out. And maybe this is connected with Jupiter going into Cancer, because I am kind of seeing that imagery with this card. It's really connecting me with Jupiter having moved into Cancer. And it's like, I'm hearing blessings on blessings on blessings. Like this is the time where the opportunity arises, like just the right moment. You slip into just the right moment where you're finally able to say the thing that is usually, halted by people choking you, so to speak. You're finally able to get the words out, and they come out, and they bite, they burn, I'm seeing like acid rain. Like, it's like this is the fallout of you having spoken the truth. And it's like whatever has been insubstantial, or whatever was not built upon truth and integrity and honor and respect, is being burnt away, is being cleared away by the power of water, by the power of your emotion, by the power of your passion and your speech, your truth. It's like a tsunami kind of blowing through and washing away sewage. I don't know how else to really convey that image that's coming through. I'm going to draw one more card. We have the Nine of Jade. Wow, it's so beautiful. This is somebody who is accomplished, who has worked for what they have, who is able to enjoy comforts and abundance and beauty and peace and tranquility. Somebody who honors themselves, somebody who appreciates themselves and is aware of their capacity and their capability to work for and shape their lives. Somebody who's grateful for the abundance that's provided for them, whether that's through their own drive, their own decisions and choices, or through, synchronicity. Jupiter in Cancer is a very synchronous sort of energy. Things just sort of happen magically. Right place, right time, right people, circumstances and opportunities sort of spontaneously present themselves. And maybe that's kind of where things are taking you. I'm putting this at the base of the reading. I have a cross with our initial card here in the center. And this is at the base, and this is at the top. And it's like earlier when I was saying I was hearing blessings on blessings, it's like this is the celestial rain of blessings that's sort of coming down. and providing the abundance that this person now has. I think that's where you're going, Taurus. You know, all these situations that have been like poking and prodding and challenging you and holding you back, it's been to get you to make the necessary change, to say the necessary words, to impel you to make the decision that you've been maybe trying not to make or trying to avoid. And it's like, in so doing, that's when the skies open up and the gold can fall from the sky. And I don't necessarily mean that you're going to have like financial windfall. You could. I'm not saying that that isn't the case, but I think it's more a matter of the principle. Movement, the energy can flow freely and unimpeded and take on beautiful shapes as it passes through you again. Things don't feel so stuck and limited and repressed and restricted, and it doesn't feel like you're running into one obstacle after another, and it's not like every time you have something nice it just gets ruined immediately. Like, you're moving out of that because that was there for a reason. That was there for a purpose. That was there to communicate something to you that you weren't paying attention to initially. And then when you finally do, and you finally acknowledge why it's happening, what the message is that's trying to break through to you, and you do something about it, that's the important part. Because I feel like it's not just a matter of you understanding what's being communicated, it's a matter of you doing something about it. Remember how I was saying before, it's like, oh, you're getting poked, what are you going to do about it? Like, that's the question here. What are you going to do about it? Because you can't just keep sitting here and accepting what everyone else is deciding for you. You need to make this decision for yourself, and you need to stand up for yourself, and you need to do something with the energy, the power, the capacity that you have inherent in yourself. That's the challenge here. And then you can go back to enjoying the fruits of your labor. There's also something here, like, just in the imagery of all the offerings and stuff, I'm getting a message of, like, honoring your ancestors, whether that's through offering them incense. I keep hearing, give us tamales. Just because there's tamales in this basket down here, and I love them so much, and it was something that was very much a part of my childhood. But like offering food, offering beautiful things, beautiful smells, beautiful flowers to the ancestors that are around you, guiding you, and maybe they're the ones that have been trying to communicate with you through these situations. They're the ones that are poking at you because you're ignoring something. It's like maybe part of the purification process for you to be able to move forward is going to be in honoring the messengers, honoring the guides that have been around you, whether you can see them or whether you can't, whether they are embodied or whether they are disembodied spirits, energies, whatever the case may be. Give gratitude, give offerings, share space with them. Because I think that's going to be part of the process of getting things moving in the right direction for you again, and moving and sort of clearing out all the obstacles that have been getting in your way of late. So I think that about does it for your reading today. Hopefully it is helpful to you, helps get you out of whatever rut you may or may not be in. Whatever the case may be, I just wish the best for all of you. And yeah, I think you'll do great things. I think you're going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. Just don't hold yourself back and pay attention to what's being communicated with you, because it's important. And I think it has the capacity to change your life for the better in a tremendous way, in an incredible way, in ways that you don't even expect. Okay? Well, wish you the best, Taurus. Thanks for sticking around.